Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today, man. We got a Watch Mojo today. 10 creepiest discoveries in murder investigations. That's crazy. I'm here for this one, man. We just came off with, across the case. Yeah. You know, when she went deep diving in that one. You know, she normally be talking about how I go deep diving. She went deep diving in this, so she's still trying to find out more information.
Cause this is, I don't know.
She said that case don't make sense, man. She was like, I need more detail.
Yeah, I gotta get more details.
But yeah, so what if it was one of them situations? Hey, with that being said, before we get into it, always make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
lock it in with a thumbs up.
You good? You good? Mm-hmm. Sound like you smoke a pack a day. Let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's about, man. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the family, join the fun, man. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
And the next thing I know, I heard the police open the refrigerator door, and they said it was a dead body in there.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most chilling pieces of evidence found during murder cases.
Do you know that I feel that in part, I am to blame for the condition Bobby is in?
Refrigerated heads.
People don't think it's possible. They don't think this actually happened.
What started as a welfare check ended in horror. Though Charles Rogers had a promising career, he abruptly quit in 1957 and moved back in with his parents. In 1965, officers were called to the home after ended in horror. Though Charles Rogers had a promising career, he abruptly quit in 1957 and moved back in with his parents. In 1965, officers were called to the home after another relative reported not hearing from them. At first,
1957, he moved back home.
Yeah, 1965 is when they just, yeah. Now we're in 1960, yeah.
Damn, how old was he when he moved back home? You know, back in the day, they age fast. Mm-hmm. You know, they really age fast. They be 25 looking 50. Like, damn, like really fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Their search seemed normal, save for a stack of unidentifiable meat sitting in the fridge.
There was a massive amount of bleach that was used.
It wasn't long until they noticed the heads of his parents and realized that the meat they'd found were parts of their bodies. Charles, who was already long gone by that point, was named the main suspect. He was never found, leaving the case unsolved to this day, though some forensic scientists are adamant that he was involved.
Hi, Fiona.
Look what you did to me.
I'm so sorry.
A cell, a treasure map, and home video.
What? Hold on, stuff.
So in 1957, moved back in 1965, y'all discovered all this stuff. Y'all never found this man.
My mama wasn't even alive yet.
Y'all. Oh. I don't know what month, but mine was. Shoot, going on a year. But huh? And y'all never found him?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes way. Never found him. So could he possibly been a killer though? For y'all have never found him. Y'all only got a corpse.
And y'all made sure.
How old was this man?
We never got his age.
Because he still could be alive. Well,
no, he not. I mean, people live long, but he ain't still alive, I don't think.
If he was born, say for instance, he was just 20. He born in 1937 when he moved in.
He could still be, but he would be like what in his?
He'd be in 90s, no 80s. Yeah, 80s. Technically, he could.
You said he was born when? Born when?
I said, say for instance, he was born. This one got me stumped, y'all. Sorry. Says, say for instance.
So he'd be 88 if you going with the 70. Going with the 37, him born in 30. But we don't know. We just making up ages at this point. Okay, he could still be alive, right? Could be. But also, we made sure that he wasn't amongst like the meat.
That's
in the
another
fridge,
thing
right?
I'm thinking about.
We did make sure that. So I guess I don't know.
Or can y'all, if the body's chopped up and made into meat, can you then determine how long the person been deceased? I don't think you can.
But the fact that your parents are gone, you have not come back around. Yeah, he had something to do with it. He did that. Girl, nobody said.
I'm saying.
No, I ain't talking about what you saying. I'm just talking about what's the thoughts in my head.
All right, let's go. That's just the first one.
That's just the first one.
Videos.
What the officer did not reveal was that the room also had a one-way mirror and hooks positioned so that a body could be secured on the bed.
Though the main
A treasure map, home videos.
treasure map and home videos.
What the officer did not reveal was that the room also had a one-way mirror and hooks positioned so that a body could be secured on the bed.
Though the main suspect died shortly after being apprehended, what was found in the aftermath made his involvement clear. Leonard Lake and his associate Charles Ng were responsible for the kidnapping, torture, and eventual murder of almost a dozen people. Investigators traced a stolen truck back to Lake's bunker, where they made a shocking discovery: a makeshift cell near a burial site containing several pounds of human remains.
They were mostly skeletal remains that were wrapped. Couldn't really make out if they were men or women because of the time that the bodies had been there.
As if that wasn't enough, they also discovered a handmade map that led them to containers filled with evidence. The information ranged from their victims' names to videotapes detailing their plans. With Lake having taken his own life, Ng took the fall and was placed on death row after being found guilty of 11 homicides.
He recorded a videotape in October 1983 in which he outlined the plan and his barbaric views on women.
What I want is an off-the-shelf sex partner.
Human remains and
off-the-shelf sex? What? All right, this is going to be the most bizarre Watch Mojo. Shout out to Watch Mojo. Great video already, man. But not like in that regard, but this is great. You know, the other day we got a comment on one of Mr. Ballin videos, and you know how like some of those joints where people come missing, and I always say some things sound like possible that a serial killer more than like an alien abduction or an animal got him, and you know people always say, oh, you know what I'm saying? They be so fixated that I don't believe in like these bizarre like creatures and all this stuff. Whereas the alien things, I'll say this. Just for people who really be watching us, I wouldn't say I don't believe in aliens precisely, but I do believe we're not the only people of humankind of some sort. Like as far as living beings, I believe there's another planet. There's something out there, whatever you want to call it. So the alien things, mine is way more deeper than you know what I'm saying, just surface level alien. But each of you know, there's a plethora of serial killers out there that people really don't know about. People really haven't identified. So when people do come up missing, it is a possibility. There's a serial killer to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many, and then there's so many serial killers that have never been caught, or you have never got like a proper MO or a proper connecting other patterns. Yeah. I believe there's plethora of serial killers that have killed multiple people and have gotten away with it for years, especially before like DNA testing and before like new age technology. I believe a lot of murders happen and a lot of people disappeared due to serial killers. Yeah, but they were able to get away with it. That's 11 bodies. They had a little bunker.
Unsent letters.
He designs a system of pipes leading from Holmes's private apartment to each guest room, where he can control the flow of gas to asphyxiate victims.
One of America's first serial killers is also one of the most insidious. After planning to fake the death of a friend for the insurance payout, H.H. Holmes betrayed him and took his life. He then manipulated the victim's wife into relinquishing custody of 3 of her children to him, leading to their fates and his downfall. In 1894, an investigator was tasked with searching Holmes' house in hopes of finding the missing minors, but was instead met with 2 corpses. He also found undelivered letters written to their mother, revealing another dark layer of Holmes's deceitful ways. The officer was then able to track Holmes down and apprehend him, finally bringing an end to his violent spree.
I was born with the devil in me. I can't help the fact that I'm a murderer no more than the poet can help the inspiration to sing.
A mirror message.
It was a horrifying plea. For heaven's sake, catch me before I kill more. I cannot control myself.
A murderer being self-aware makes their crimes even more chilling. While the violent acts committed by the lipstick killer, later identified as William Hirons, were horrific enough, what made them worse was his lack of control. This was made apparent following the 1945 death of Frances Brown, when officials discovered a message scrawled in lipstick.
Those words were chilling to the public. And captured the imagination of the newspaper reporters who made that a very sensational catchphrase.
It was a plea to be caught before he could strike again, alongside a claim that he couldn't stop himself. That note unfortunately came true less than a month later in 1946, when Suzanne Degnan was kidnapped and murdered. Hirons was questioned later that year, where he confessed under duress. Though he later claimed innocence, he received 3 life sentences and spent the rest of his days behind bars.
He told them not to contact the police or the FBI and to put $20,000 in small bills together.
A written rant and punishment map.
Investigators recorded one of his bone-chilling phone calls.
Though he wasn't apprehended until 2018, authorities first got a look into his twisted mindset 40 years earlier. Joseph D'Angelo, more commonly known as the elusive Golden State Killer.
Damn, he used to call people and Sarah. Did we hear that part in the last one we did we? No.
Yeah.
No. The phone calls and Nah, we ain't hear that. I don't remember hearing that.
Didn't they say that he...
I don't remember. It wasn't him. It wasn't them with what Ballin, wasn't it?
I thought he used to call
and
then send, or am I mixing him up with somebody else?
I might be mixing him up with somebody else.
He used to send like stuff to like the...
I'm talking about the one. Him is the one that went to the town hall meeting. He said amongst the town hall meeting, he was a police officer previously.
That was him.
And his MO was women.
Yeah.
And then he started killing couples
because
they said he wanted.
I mixed him up with somebody else.
He ain't gonna do it to a man.
Yeah.
And then the man that he said
so
that he went and ended up killing him and his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm mixing him up with one of the other ones.
I ain't know he used to call him.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Gonna kill you. Gonna kill you. You won't be able to tell that's me.
No, because honestly, was the recording like an actual? Was that like the actual?
Probably was, but also you got to think about it. Was that over the phone or was that on answer machine? You can't help me for nothing, girl. Get it together.
Still a phone, so I was confused as to
I'm saying I said the record. I'm thinking like, or was it on?
But I said it's still a phone, so
no answer machine. I'm saying was it recorded or was it recorded on it?
Because honestly, I don't know if what they just let us hear. I can't think what they just let us hear for some reason. To me, in my ears, it sounded like a woman.
Oh, does it?
It sounded like a woman, or I guess a man with a soft voice.
Oh,
so
might. I ain't gonna lie. Some men do have.
Like.
Some men balls ain't dropped, so they, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They ain't got no. They
didn't really have a lot of bass.
Ain't no raspiness to the voice of the bass.
I couldn't tell. I was like, who is that?
All right, I'm gonna try to do my soft voice. Gonna kill you.
That's your soft voice.
I'm trying to take the.
I can do my voice deep.
I'm trying to take my balls can drop, girl. And then I ain't short, so if you notice, a lot of short people have a little softer tone of the voice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's go.
But if I get on the phone, be like, "Gonna kill you, gonna kill you."
But you still sound, yeah.
They don't sound like me though.
No.
Had dropped several handwritten documents at the scene of one of his crimes, though they couldn't trace it back to him then. What they did find were his vindictive ramblings blaming his 6th grade teacher for the crimes he committed in adulthood. He claimed that writing lines caused him to suffer and grow ashamed of himself, which later morphed into anger. The motifs of...
We heard that detail that he blamed
his 6th grade teacher because they made him do his work.
Oh my God, he screwed up in the head, bro. That's like me. If I had...
Is that
if I let like my troubles really influenced me because I was the kid that was always kicked out of class, kicked out of school. I'm talking about from kindergarten, y'all. First time I ever got kicked out of, like, suspended, expelled was kindergarten. First time. Kicked out in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. I have memory of all of them.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about just getting kicked out once. I'm talking about kicked out, like, suspended. My first time getting expelled and told I can't come back was in the 5th grade. Mm-hmm. And I missed over a month of school. And then had to go to summer school just to make sure I passed. But, like, if I let all that truly influence me, I would be locked up somewhere right now.
If not worse.
If not worse. You can't, like, whatever, like, you can't hold shit like that, bro. When I tell y'all, you looking at a person who
for some people
has did a complete 180 in life, you know? Like, I'm not, the person y'all see now, I'm supposed to be a totally different person. If you allow statistics in society dictate, you know?
Caused him to suffer and grow ashamed of himself, which later morphed into anger. The motifs of discipline were also found in a map he had drawn of a neighborhood with the word punishment written on the back, indicating an area he may have intended to attack.
Especially, we want people to give us a call, any suspicious circumstances, prowler calls, anything that seems out of the ordinary to them, to give us a call. And of course, we're responding to these calls.
A corpse-filled...
But what's so crazy with his situation? It's because he was the police. So he knew every move y'all was going to make.
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to get away with his crimes for so long.
Crawl space.
Oh, God. More space.
As one of the United States' most infamous serial killers, every detail of John Wayne Gacy's terrible misdeeds is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. His confession is no different. He drunkenly admitted to killing at least 30 victims, who he then buried beneath his crawl space. Though he was intoxicated, officials were able to get a warrant to thoroughly search him.
Oh, I didn't know he was intoxicated and confessed.
Intoxicated when he confessed.
I'll say this. John is one of the ones that I know a little about. Don't know a lot about, because I ain't never really wanted to dig into it. Like, I know a lot of stuff about him, but I don't know a lot of stuff about him. You know what I'm saying? And he was probably, him and Ted was him and Ted was the first ones I found out about. Then I found about Jeffrey. But him and Ted was the ones I was introduced to. But I feel like it's so much information I don't know. Yeah. Then I showed you that clip the other day. He tried to say he ain't killed
and didn't take the young man's life.
Talking about I study these photos all the time, and she said, "You telling me he got a photo album of all the victims?" I said, "He showed."
Yeah, and then he was like, "Well, you know, you basically informed me on that."
Oh yeah.
But I was like, like someone like that, like of that nature. It's just kind of like,
I think he just fixated on he gets aroused by it.
Like, yeah, and that's
because
the
then
problem.
He supposedly had assaulted them and before he killed them. You don't even know that part.
I don't.
Supposedly because he had what, like 20, probably more. I'm not sure with his count.
More, yeah.
But supposedly a lot of them he assaulted first and then would kill them.
Yeah.
So just imagine you being assaulted. So you getting aroused by it because you remember it all, you know?
His home, and within minutes found decaying human remains.
So they immediately called me, let me know that there was human remains in a crawl space, and at that time I arrested John Gacy for murder.
The more they searched, the more they found, identifying 4 different bodies in the first dig alone. A subsequent search led to the discovery of 26 other victims in his crawl space. The sheer magnitude of his crimes, and how easily he had hidden them, shocked both his community and the country as a whole.
When Snow checks the car...
Hold on, don't decaying bodies give off well...
It's underneath the crawl space, underneath the
house. It's buried, so it's just buried, like you're going to a grave. But I'm saying, like, they ain't been a bomb and they ain't been properly... Like, inside his house
him in something, or he just
inside the home should have some type of. I don't get that part though, but it's just like going to a graveyard. Ain't no stitch in the graveyard but they 6 feet deep.
Yeah, and enclosed in something.
Yeah, but those will be shallow graves though.
Yeah, I know.
And they won't be buried into a coffin or anything. So when it's give out should. I'm thinking. I don't know. That ain't my forte. But I always say this. I always say this because it's so weird. It's another crime show that's coming. The Smiley Face Killer.
Oh yeah.
They making a series about that, and I always wonder. I'm like, y'all did Ted Bundy, y'all did Jeffrey. Are y'all gonna do John? You know, I always ask that. We always have those conversations. Not always, but we have had.
Say, not
always, but we have
brought
had
it up before.
We have had a conversation on that, but I do feel like what movie? What was the name of that movie we went to see?
Black Phone.
Black Phone. I feel like that was supposed to be based off of John because the guy was a clown. He had a van.
I think it was. I think I had looked it up, and it was like it was.
Yeah, it was like based off of it, but they
not
wanted
like
to
solely, but.
And they wanted to go in that direction to make the movie off of him, but they said just due to what they said.
I can't remember like the
verbatim.
Reason.
Collarbones of the skeletons found under Gacy's house. None of them are fully fused. These victims were all less than 30 years old.
A macabre poem.
Before I kill you, I'm gonna throw your baby out the window.
To this day, the Zodiac Killer is one of the most prolific and elusive murderers in modern times, with his identity still remaining a mystery. Known for his communications with police, including a series of ciphers, the search for him proved to be fruitless. Though he had sent an anonymous letter following the death of Sherry Jo Bates in 1966, it was a discovery made 2 months later that truly alarmed authorities.
The newly decoded message picks up where the last cryptogram left off.
It said, "I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show." Which brings up a point about me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner.
Scratched within a library desk was a disturbing poem detailing the sight of a woman's blood spilling onto her dress. The handwriting matched that of the letters sent by the killer. Though it didn't aid in his capture, it did add extra insight into his potential mindset during his sprees of violence.
Before I give you any more details about the good times I had at the reservoir in Green Rock Park, I'd like to know, are the police having a good time with the cryptogram?
Polaroids and a human head.
Goddamn. These are real.
Oh, yeah.
All it took was one failed murder to apprehend one of the worst killers of the 20th century. After nearly losing his life, Tracy Edwards escaped the clutches of Jeffrey Dahmer and went straight to the police. Later that night, the near victim and 2 cops returned to his apartment, where they found the knife nearly used to slay him.
In a refrigerator left as it was found, at least 2 heads, the severed remains of victims of the alleged murderer.
That was only scratching the surface. They also noticed an open drawer filled with photos of Dahmer's dismembered victims. Upon those being found, the killer attempted to fight back, only to be subdued. To top it all off, one investigator opened the fridge and was met with a head, the first of several body parts that would later be discovered.
The part.
Did you know a head was in the fridge?
A head?
Yeah.
I think it was mentioned.
Box after box of dismembered human remains were taken away. Now the job is to...
I just imagine you open the fridge and somebody's head just they're staring back at you. Boy, I damn near pissed myself. I ain't lying. Boy, I'm just...
Like the sight of everything, the photos, the all the recovery of just body parts and the smells and all of that. I would not be able to get that
What sense did it make for them even with the boy they took back to the... I'm sure it was a stench already because he had already been killing.
Yeah.
Y'all are police officers. Y'all deal with dead bodies enough where y'all should even understand the smell. I ain't even talking about the Tracy one. I'm talking about the first one. What's his name? I don't want. It's a long, hard name. But
I remember. Yeah.
Hey, why the hell y'all didn't? Oh, he's gay. Oh, okay. Well, hands off on that one. Y'all go have, y'all go have fun doing whatever y'all doing. And then when Tracy brought y'all back to the man, and he tried to play it off then, and y'all still didn't believe it.
Sad.
But the stench, the woman been complaining about the smell. Y'all officers, y'all shouldn't. It smell like a dead body.
Smell weird.
Identify the victim.
Letter to victim's mother.
My dear Mrs. Shaw, just got your very nice letter. I am much pleased to know you are not one bit ashamed to strip Bobby naked and bathe him.
Seeing physical evidence is awful enough, but somehow having the exact details written out is even worse. While Albert Fish claimed several lives, it was the murder of Grace Budd in 1928 that eventually led to his capture. In 1934, he penned an anonymous letter to Budd's mother. In the message, he opened with anecdotes about an acquaintance who introduced him to the idea of cannibalism.
Truly, it was a great horror. And the horror of the victim, everyone knows. But the horror of the perpetrator is just as horrific.
He then wrote out exactly what he did to Grace, from his technique to the way he prepared her to eat. The disgusting note was corroborated by him at his arrest, where he shared even more gruesome details. More of his crimes were unearthed, leading to a swift trial in 1935 and his eventual execution in 1936.
Write a letter to Dr. Gregory at Bellevue Hospital. Tell him I won't write any more letters. Ask him in God's name to place me in your custody.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe.
That's sick. That's some of the sickest shit I ever seen.
And switch on notifications. Decorations made of human remains. Though he doesn't have the same level of notoriety as other killers, he's still one of the most disturbed. After being traced back to the disappearance of a hardware store clerk, Ed Gein was arrested and his farm searched. Once there, not only did officers find his latest victim's eviscerated body, they found a slew of depraved homemade decorations. His house was reportedly full of macabre items crafted from human remains, primarily consisting of bodies he had stolen from graves.
He used human shin bones to prop up a coffee table. He took the tops of skulls and inverted them and used them for soup bowls. He upholstered a chair in human skin.
He even admitted that he targeted the corpses of women who resembled his mother, adding another sick layer to his grotesque misdeeds. A decade later, Gein was finally tried, where he was ruled to be insane and spent the rest of his days in a mental health facility. Which of these discoveries do you find the most disturbing? Let us know in the comments below. Check out these other clips from Watch My...
I will say, shout out to Miss Mojo. I forgot. She bad, baby. But, that's insane. And every time I hear about Ed Gein, it's just something else I find out.
Oh.
So you don't know a lot about him, though.
I mean, not a lot, but I know all I need to know.
She's like, I don't be looking at TV folks like this.
I know enough, but I didn't know. I mean, I guess I did. Sometimes I forget things, but I knew that he was like, I knew that he would go to like the gravesite.
Yeah.
Like I knew all of that, and he said that he did it because,
Texas Chainsaw kind of bait.
Yeah, I know that much. Yeah. I just didn't know that. I guess I never really knew.
I didn't know that either.
Huh?
Like the house being dead.
Yeah, I guess I never knew that much that, like, he brought them back to. What?
No, I'm just looking at your head. How he would use that as a bowl. He would cut off the top of the head, use it as a soup bowl.
As a bowl, yeah.
I'm just wondering.
I mean, it's possible.
My head was a little too lumpy for all this.
No, it ain't. I mean, if somebody want it, they'll get it. But yeah, I guess I just didn't know that the whole house was decked out in like human remains. But I did know that some human remains were in the house. I just didn't know like full details. He was eating out the skull heads. And
some of the skin was like the
chairs and all.
No, I'm
of
saying
that.
Like it's not leather. They thought some of it was leather.
But it was human skin.
Human skin, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know like that much, but I did know that human remains was found in the house.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what he was doing with. Like,
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
But hey, man, with that being said, y'all spam us up in the comments, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners.